I'd like to call to order the Village of Woodstock Board of Trustee meeting on July 14th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Are there any additions or deletions to the posted agenda?
I'd like to add one, if possible, on discussion, a conversation of closing the middle bridge during peak foliage time. It's a marketing committee idea they want to run by the trustees, so I just want to present it to the board tonight and have a discussion and go from there.
Okay. All right. So citizens' comments, 3-minute maximum limit per resident. Can you raise your hands if you wish to speak? Is there anyone online? 1, 2.
No one online that I'm seeing.
Sure. If your discussion, if you want to speak about anything that's in here on, you don't have to, like if it's bears or anything, we're going to hold that off until. So would you like to speak?
Yeah.
Come on up to the chair and you say your name.
Christopher Sparks.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Christopher Sparks.
Okay, and where you're located?
47 Terrace Street.
Welcome.
I just want to know what's going on with the water situation, the water pipe across Elm Street. When is it going to get fixed?
I can give an update on my manager's report on that.
Okay. Is that okay? All right, thank you. Mr. Selden?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me when you're ready and I'll start the timer.
Thank you. So
Where are you from?
my name is Nicholas Selden. I am from Woodstock. Well, not from, but here, as you know. And I have come before you with 3 different topics tonight. And the first one is that it has now been proven that Mr. Duffy has stolen money from the town of Woodstock to pay for legal bills to achieve his desired outcome. Don't shake your head, Mr. Duffy. No, it's true. It's been proven. And the 3 of you were in this, Ms. Lawler and Mr. Kahn and Ms. Blakeman. And so you are now aware that the misappropriation happened, that it was illegal. Both of you, Mr. Kahn and Ms. Lawler, you actually lied to me when I came before you repeatedly. That
I'm Ms. Blakeman.
Excuse me. That's what
I'm
I
Ms.
said.
Blakeman. No, you said
Ms.
Ms. Lawler.
Excuse me, Ms. Blakeman. Thank you for correcting me. Ms. Blakeman lied to me and Mr. Kahn lied to me about it being taxpayer money. You actually both said it's not taxpayer money. Not only was it taxpayer money, it was actually stolen taxpayer money from the town taxpayers. So it's actually kind of funny, but you obviously knew this. You were complicit in his cover up. You haven't paid back the town. You haven't instructed him to pay back the town. You helped him in the cover up. And I want to know why you have not investigated it or returned our money to us, which is the purpose of my signs here of Stop the Deception. Because I understand that your goal here is to paint a photo of what exactly Woodstock life is like. And it's actually not true. There's a lot of corruption and deception amongst this little corner right here. And it needs to end, Ms. Blakeman, Mr. Kahn, and Ms. Lawler, and especially Mr. Duffy, but I know that you're incurable. So the purpose here today is to ask once again that you instruct him to return the stolen money to town taxpayers, and then to also bring to the attention that Mr. Kahn, another woman has come forward. Another one of your female victims has recently come forward, and Mr. Duffy is protecting you. We know there's a report about your crazy conduct, and he's hiding it, which has now walked the village into another public records lawsuit. You just cannot resist yourself of going after women, can you, Mr. Kahn? It's very upsetting to me. But you know, maybe one day you will. And Ms. Blakeman, I have an exhibit just for you. I made this for you. And as you will see, this is how you greet your constituents. And I want you to know that I'll be greeting you the exact same way as I have been when I see you around town. And you too, Mr. Kahn and Ms. Lawler and Mr. Duffy, because this is the tone that you have set. And also the individuals that you have brought to perjure themselves, like Michelle Sutherland. These are the people that get greeted the way that you have established as the standard of conduct.
Can you need to make,
No.
I would also
30
point out,
seconds.
thank you. You have a conflict of interest, Ms. Blakeman. Your husband is running for select board. Clay Reed has no business being on the select board, given that you are all about misappropriation of funds. There's going to be a vote about his misappropriation of funds. It's a conflict of interest, and it's crazy that both of you are trying to hijack the boards and control them. One of you needs to step down. for you for many reasons, but thank you. very
5
much.
seconds.
Don't
Thank
need
you.
it.
No. Good to hear. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say? All right, we're going to. Are you done?
I thought I said I was done.
No, getting your stuff.
Well, clearly.
Okay, now we are going into the reports. Eric?
Yeah, I'll start with a water update, the gentleman who asked. So the select board, 2 months ago, selected an engineer firm to work on project. We selected another firm to do the environmental assessment that comes along with the grant we received. They are currently working on supplying that information, to the state to get approval. The hope is still to do work this fall, mostly at night to avoid any tourist or resident disruption. So that's where we're at right now. We should have an update probably in the next 30 days once we know everything's going to the state. But the select board has been actively working on this now for 3 or 4 months with the contractors and engineers. What else? Our public works director is out for a little while. After successful health issue, so he will be back soon. But in the meantime, Everett Chamberlain and David Green are kind of sharing responsibilities on public works the next few weeks. We wish Greg a speedy recovery and hope to see him soon. 2 dispatchers are leaving us in the next few weeks. Beth Tarian and Doug Perkins both sent in their notices. We have one letter accepted for a new appointment, and we're having another posting up and hoping to interview people soon in the next coming weeks to get fully staffed again as soon as possible. So Stephanie and Crystal keep working on that together to kind of keep us going. I just want to thank Beth and Doug for their time here. I think they have nearly 40 years to combine together in dispatching for us. So I appreciate all their hard work. Found out today that we received a $30,000 grant for a design study for a a water pond in the Bondell Cobb area to help with the runoff. So it'll be $30,000 to design how it'll look, and then we go back next year for a $100,000 grant to actually construct what we need there too. So Molly Maxim and Planning Department has worked on that. So I just want to thank her for her hard work, and hopefully this will be successful, and the grant next year will be successful as well.
Can you explain a little bit? What is it?
I forgot the terminology,
Pond?
but it's to help with the runoff coming down off the road.
Down off of.
Yeah, and then also be ecological spot for animals as well to thrive there as well.
And the grant is from?
I don't have information on me. Sorry, I can look it up as we talk, and I'll pull it up before the next conversation. Utility bills went out for the last 3 months. Water and sewer. You should have received them now. They are due August 13th in the finance office and the business that day. Always a reminder that you have to receive by that day. It's not when you mail them out. And finally, I'll be on vacation for the next few days. Chief Green will be the acting manager. If anyone has any questions or problems, please reach out to Chief Green.
Couple of questions. And is there any update on the Mount Peg fire risk?
That's what Chief Green and I are working on, trying to hire an arborist to go out there and take a look at it.
Okay.
So he went out there and explored everything we need to an arborist to go out there and give us better insight on what we need.
And where do we stand on the short-term rentals? June 30th was the cutoff date.
Yeah.
To
So our short-term rental person has been out the last 2 days, so I couldn't get an update, but I was able to talk to our finance director, and there's about $4,000 that hasn't reconciled yet for short-term rentals. So that number in the finance report that we'll get to in a second should have about $4,000 more in it. But I don't have a number for how many registered we have by June 30th, but I'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I have.
Okay. We have anything for the police report or we're
Uh,
just gonna?
so the financial report?
Oh, yeah, financial, yeah.
Yeah, so I know Jeffrey probably has some questions. So a few things to go over. The fiscal year is technically over. Payroll this week was the first payroll of the new fiscal year. Does not mean we don't bill still rolling in. We also haven't reconciled May or June yet, so we'll have more revenue to come in as well. But to kind of give you a snapshot of where we're at, there'll be at minimum $44,773.32 transferred out of expenses. That's capital reserve spending. So that will be moved to the capital reserves. Once you make that transfer, the hypothetical transfer in this scenario, we're about at even for the fiscal year, which means we'll probably end somewhere similar before the audit, comes in and moves money around for us. So we're kind of ending the year, probably small surplus, small deficit, depending on what shakes out with revenue and bills coming in for the rest of the year. With that said, as always, I will highlight for expenses. The major thing to look at is, let me find it. Credit card meter charges, the total is 41,000 out of a budget of 13,000. As we said a few times now, that is because we're changing how we recognize the revenue. So we're capturing the full cost of the software for Park Mobile, but also recognizing the full revenue. So that's kind of an offset right there, but that's why you see that large increase right there.
Eric, if you could tell us the line number,
Oh, yeah, sorry, that is 25034-212.
Okay,
It's under parking meters as a title,
got it.
page 6 on the top. But I'll have a better date at the August meeting of where we think the end of the year pre-audit adjustments.
Okay. Any questions for Eric?
Yeah, some small ones. The National Park Land Trust, that still hasn't been adjusted to match.
Oh, yes.
It should match. Even adding the 4,000 that you just mentioned to short-term rental registrations is below what we're budgeting. So
Yes.
when you're back, I think it's important to look into where we stand and people who haven't registered who may still be.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's important. So what else? I had just a couple more that were not the big ones, but building maintenance. This is under 5036. Those figures match so closely that they can't be real.
Correct.
What does that mean?
So this is one of the things, the uniqueness of how we operate sometimes. Those are journal entries. I'm gonna assume the journal entries from throughout the fiscal year, the bill comes in and the town pays it completely from the bill, and then we do a journal entry to allocate that money somewhere to the police department's allocation of propane, electricity, et cetera. And it's based on what was budgeted for that year. So that's probably why the numbers match perfectly for propane, electricity.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's all. That's all I had.
I got a quick one. On police revenue, 2406 on page 1. Are these just reversed, the moving violations of the miscellaneous revenue? One's over by 1,000%, the other's at 12% of what was budgeted. I mean, the revenue seems to match. It's just.
I actually don't think so. The move violations go to the states, and then it comes from the state back to us because they take a cut of it, so we don't always see the revenue right away. I think the most of revenue, and Chris can correct me, part of it's the grant we got from the Bond Foundation, and I'm not sure what the other one was. There's a larger one as well.
Right on.
There are 2 hands up online. I don't know if you want to take questions on the financial report or not. It's Wendy Merriam and Allison Tiller.
Has to be on this.
3 minutes because we're working on a clock.
Wendy?
Thank you. I just have a quick technological question. Is it possible for members on Zoom to see the speakers, the trustee table and you, Eric? I'm not able to see the panel. There's
Wendy,
no
should
camera
be
on
the
it.
Top right of that picture should be the trustees.
Top right. Well, I just, in my top right, it's showing Mr. Selden.
It should be, I believe, over his shoulder, to be able to see the
Oh,
trustee
that's tiny.
table.
I got you. If you could click on it.
It's not, but it's a little distracting. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a billboard being held up and it's on the screen, and I don't think it needs this much attention.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Allison as well.
Allison?
Yes, thank you. I was curious if we could move the microphone a little closer. I have my volume up on my computer all the way, and I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, and then I also had just two questions about the fiscal report. And I wanted to thank Mr. Stuntz for asking one of my questions. The other is, what is miscellaneous police revenue and what are police contracts revenue? If you could address those, that I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so miscellaneous police revenue could really be anything. It's anything that comes in that that doesn't have a budget line allocated to it, goes in that account. Police contracts is when the police department is contracted outside of hours to do a detail at an event or a parade or something like that. That's when the money goes when it comes in.
Could you give me an example of the police revenue, the miscellaneous, what those might entail?
Yeah. A good example is we received a grant this year to go towards cameras. So that money sits there right now.
Is that the only example?
That's the example I have off the top of my head without having a detailed transaction report in front of me. I don't want to speak openly about it, but I can look it up and send it to you.
Thank you.
Oh, hey,
One more question.
3 minutes?
Thank you. So the numbers that Mr. Duffy just presented a few moments ago in his financial report of Nicholas Selden, by the way, I assume that doesn't include you returning the town's money from the village if we misappropriate, correct? That would actually change the entire budget and probably wouldn't leave any money left for the village. Is that correct?
I'll say for the record, nothing was done illegal. Nothing has been proven non-illegal. He can say what he wants to say, but those are the facts.
And it's important, it's important, Mr. Selden, to understand that we have not received anything from the select board. So we have no idea what they want, where they want it, or how they want it.
Did you attend the meeting that just happened? I can't believe that Mr. Duffy just said this. He's a liar. You know this, right?
I'm going to ask you to stop, please. You need to stop.
Two individuals from the police department.
Can we put the meeting on pause for 5 minutes, please?
As the chair, you have the ability to go and recess if you want.
Recess for 5 minutes, please. Okay.
Should we follow our agenda? Well, first off, are we back? in
No, we're
session?
going directly into executive. As we lost some time.
You can see back in recess.
Okay, we have the Village Board of Trustees on July 14th at 2026 returns from recess at 6:53 p.m. I move to find that a premature public knowledge of discussion of pending litigation and attorney-client communications would place the village trustees at a substantial disadvantage, including by potentially waiving attorney-client privilege and disclosing confidential information. There's a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay, under 1 VSA 313A 1E and F, I move to enter executive session for attorney-client communications, discussion of pending litigations, and to invite legal counsel, the municipal manager, to join. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We don't even hear?
We know the office over there.
Okay. All set?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. I make a motion to return from executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, so moved. We're heading into votes, so come on down, Turkey Trot. I thought Norm was here.
The police report.
Oh, the police report. I apologize.
Hello.
Hi.
So. For June stats, we wrote a total of just short of $3,000 in fines. Slightly down from May, but we had 3 weekends where they were pretty event heavy, where it was almost an all hands on deck situation. So it took away from some of the motor vehicle activities, but still a solid showing. 545 parking tickets were written total. And for calls, there were 200 in the village and 135 in the town and 12 in South Woodstock. Other than that, we are looking at communications grant opportunities for radios, phones, etc. Any questions?
No.
Just a quick one. The moving violations are
Right.
still less than 13% of the budget at the end of June.
They've gone up quite a bit in the last, say, 4 months. April, May, March, April, May, June.
If you extrapolated from that, would you say we're moving towards the budget figure?
Yes, very much so.
Thank you.
Guys, anybody else?
Other
Okay,
than that, I just want to say thank you to Fish and Wildlife, our law enforcement partners, for coming to do the presentation. Thank you.
Chris, could you stay until the conversation on Twin Pines?
Yes. Yep.
all right, so now we head into votes.
Do you take
Beth?
questions up for an issue?
Beth, are you ready?
No,
Come on up.
no. Is it true that the police officers in the district resigned because of you?
No.
Really? That's your statement? Yeah. The Terry.
Come on up.
I don't think this
This isn't a conversation.
Okay, awesome.
Come up, Beth, come on.
Recorded.
Thank you.
Yep.
Been waiting a while, thanks.
It's okay.
I'm Beth Robinson, from Zach's Place, 73 Central Street. And a little confusion from my point. So I spoke with someone in your office at length. I actually had 3 different things I was looking for permits for. So where you have Central Street banner, Zach's Place for Turkey Trot, the application I filled out and faxed or scanned to her was actually we're celebrating our 20th anniversary, which is different than the Turkey Trot. So the dates are different. So my understanding was that I filled out a permit to have the signage on both ends of the green for the Turkey Trot. And then I was coming in front of you to ask for a parade permit for the Turkey Trot. And then the third thing was the conversation about the newer signage potential in the village, which is a 20 by 4 sign that they used for the Pride event. And so it was suggested to me, because our 20th anniversary is going to run too close to the Wassel signage, that might be an opportunity for us to purchase a banner. And I understand we would purchase the banner. We would have to find someone to put it up and take care of it. But that would be a separate request. And that's what I think we just had. So So it's the three things. So my understanding was the turkey trot's been, this is our 19th year. So I believe it had been sort of grandfathered in that if nothing changed, nothing's changing, that I didn't need to do any additional paperwork for that.
For the banner?
No, for
No.
the
She
regular.
said turkey trot first.
Yeah.
Turkey trot,
Yeah, let's take them in order. Whatever order you want to.
okay, so first and foremost, the turkey trot
Parade.
parade permit and the signage on the green, two separate.
Yeah, so
things,
let's
I
do the
believe.
one.
Right. So so if we're sticking to the turkey trot first. Great.
Let's stick to the turkey trot. Thank you.
Okay. So we need an updated COI.
Yes, and
Certificate of
so
insurance.
I'm aware of that, but our policy doesn't,
It's all right.
it's another month. So Kitty and I had the
So-
conversation
so
that when I have the new policy, I would
Okay, it could be
Contingent on-
approved pending
Yes.
that
continue on
occurring
that. Yes.
before the event.
And I want to make sure you have your conversations with Chris O'Keefe regarding making sure that the police and all that other stuff, just passing.
Yeah, that's usually a separate conversation. Yeah, thank you. I think that's on Norm's list. So,
You guys have anything on the parade?
Yeah, it's a great event. And of course,
it's our
we're
20th anniversary, yeah.
on the 19th of the-
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
well, I move that we accept the turkey trot parade as presented pending an updated COI before the event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We go back, one down.
One down, okay.
The signage, if it's on the green, we don't have to do because that's Kitty. That's administration.
And I've already done that paperwork and I've already paid.
That's fine.
So what I brought tonight, so I have a couple of questions. I mean, my question is, I'm waiting to hear back from either timber tenders or chippers if I even have someone to put it up. So I don't want to buy a banner, pay for a permit and not have anyone to put it up. So I'm wondering if I should maybe,
Come back next month.
well, is it an action? So there's no question about whether or not it can happen if I have all my ducks in a row, correct?
No, the trustees have to vote for
We have to
approval.
vote on
We have
it.
to vote on it.
That particular banner, yes.
Well, that particular banner, but you are allowing folks to utilize that space and if you approve it,
Yes.
okay.
As long as no one else requests those dates though, right, in the meantime.
Yeah, so she's talking about the banner across Central Street,
Across Central
Right.
not
Street.
the ones on the green.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's before Wassel and I ran the dates by Kitty.
That's
So do you just need to see do you just want to, so before I order it, you just want to see what the banner is going to look like and know that I've got someone to put it up and maintain it?
We-
Kind of looking over at Eric because it's,
Oh, Jeff is Jeff is on
Well, we
first.
would need to know what the banner says.
Okay,
You also need to be aware that the banner had problems, the one that.
yeah, I had a great conversation with
So
Seton.
that you don't
Yeah.
spend
Okay,
money
Great.
having one made that isn't gonna hold
Banners
up.
by the cheap or you get what you pay for. So that's the other part. We'll have to look at how much it's going to cost. We're going to use it once. It's our 20th anniversary. It's not something we're going to put away and take out next year like they will. So they kind of learned when they were doing their event. So I'll just come back next month with that request, if that works. So
Perfect.
But we're squared away on the turkey trot.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
okay. Next, we have Twin Pines East End parking request for Mellishwood. Now, we had a discussion last month. So now, does anyone have a motion here?
Well, You can
about-
also have a conversation.
We can have a conversation, but but this is specifically for East End Park.
What I heard is in April, which is nice, it's after the snow. And they're looking for 6 to 7 spots for residents.
Till
This is not-
October.
Oh, right, but it's not for their workers.
No, it's for the residents.
The residents of Mellishwood, or our neighbors, need a place to park their car while this project is being finished. And the fact that it's happening not during winter when we're doing snow removal, so big difference. I'm in favor, I'm not making a motion of say 6 spots down there for them, which gets them started. And he seemed to indicate then he could leverage that to maybe get some spots at some other businesses around. But recognizing it's our neighbors here, I'm certainly in favor of giving them 6 spots.
Anyone else conversation?
Well, yeah. I'm wondering why we can't increase some parking spaces on Pleasant Street closer to Millishwood.
Chris?
And, yeah, and noting that there are some parking spaces that exist right now.
Yes.
And there's room continuing down past them to continue something like that.
My only thought on it is it's difficult at times for emergency vehicles. If there's, if we're responding to something, it's just it's a potential obstacle to get around, line of sight, than the truck traffic. So the trucks have a hard time making that turn around, Maple Fields. And I know that's obviously further down, but, you get these big trucks that go down there and sometimes it could come very close to the parked vehicles. That's my only real concern.
Well, that's what exists on Central Street now.
Right. But it'd just be something that people would have to get used to, and
Right. But there's a straightaway section
there is.
that is currently unused. It's unmarked.
But we also haven't asked the neighbors. So the people, I forget her name, that she just opened that flower place. We're taking away,
Kimberly, yeah.
yeah, we're taking away customer space for her. So we haven't asked any of them.
Well, currently, there's not customer space. It's not really marked parking.
Right, it's parking, but what you're doing is it's saying you 24 hours, 7 days a week. None of your customers can park from here to here.
Well, maybe we should talk to them and see if there's, talk to the neighbors, but I think that's a better solution than the East End Park for 6 spaces, or I think there's 5. But
Brenda?
something like that. And let me just say, the East End Park, there's a problem in the summer. Friday night concerts, there's the terrible lack of parking. I mean, the place is packed. And that would conflict with people being able to park there permanently during that all this time period. That's just one example of why I think we can find some spaces on Pleasant Street. It would be a solution.
Brenda?
Now, when you said Pleasant Street, for some reason I instantly went to behind the salon.
No, further down.
Okay, but let me finish. So behind the salon, we lost, I believe, 3 parking spaces when the state came through and restriped.
No, it's down, it's from, in front of
Can I
Mellishwood.
finish what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We could open up those 3 spaces that we have lost because of people's driveways, which previously there was parking spaces in front of there, and I don't really see that it's made any difference. They could probably say different, I don't know, but we could regain at least 3 spots right there by doing that. It's just an idea.
No objection for me.
Jamie?
No, I think that seems like a reasonable approach versus
Which one?
reopening the 3 spaces. Right, that's weird.
Mhm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but that's 3 spaces, which means we talked 6.
That's halfway there.
Right.
Look,
I mean, it's better than nothing.
they're looking for 14, really. I mean, obviously,
Right.
we're not gonna get 14 in the public, not in the East End Park. We give them a few, and then these other maybe.
3 at East End and 3 at, if it can be done.
Well,
Chris has to-
I don't think we should rule out Pleasant Street. I mean, if we're allowing 1 or 2
Well,
right now.
then we have to table this and do a discussion, because if we can't vote on this, then we need to bring this back as a discussion next time, because obviously we're not going to vote on it.
No,
Fine.
all right.
Yeah,
All
fair
right,
time.
so we'll bring that back. Eric?
So is a directive from the board for the Ms. Manager, Keith, whatever, to look at options on Pleasant Street and Central Street for extra parking?
Yes.
And then look at how we would enforce those spots just for Millishwood residents?
Yes.
'Cause-
Not Central Street.
Sorry, but just Pleasant Street.
Right.
Yeah.
And East End Park.
Yeah, east, yeah. But I think the two things is the further you get away from like East End Park or somewhere else, then enforcement becomes an issue with someone parking there when a resident pulls out to go to the job or something else. And how do we enforce? And how do we know who's parking there? And so it's just a little more tricky when you get out of like a centralized location.
Mhm.
Could I ask David a quick question who's online from?
Sure.
Dave, what is the timeline of when you all need to know you have spots available?
Unfortunately, obviously, the answer is kind of the sooner the better. We don't need to move the vehicles. I mean, we've got until April, but obviously, the longer we go before we kind of nail this down, the more anxiety everybody has. But we've got time to work with you if you need to kind of work through Pleasant Street or East End or something to that effect. We can certainly go another month and work with you through that. I guess is my best answer, Eric.
Okay.
Trustees?
Until next month.
All right. Come back with some more information and we'll make a decision at the next one. How's that, Eric? Chris? Okay. So next we have, okay, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so easement for 33. Easement for 33. Is anyone on the on for easement in 33
Yeah, we have
Central?
a few. Hold on.
Oh,
So I think the board agreed, I think over a year ago for this easement. We had some legal fees we had to work out. They came back in April. I think there's a hiccup in April. I can't remember what it was, but they were on the schedule last month. The trustees had some concerns with the current construction that was going on and things that were left. You instructed me to meet with them. I talked to them. They put together an email that I forward all you that's in the booklet saying that their contractor has been directed to keep it clean and efficient. So Eliza and I think Will are both online if you have questions for them. But that's kind of where we're at.
Wondering when it's starting and if the work is going to be continuous.
That'll be a question for them.
Okay. Eliza?
It won't start until the easement is signed.
Yeah, and I just
Then things can start.
and I'd chime in on that and just say it's expected to take a couple days. It shouldn't be a particularly long project once we get the easement in place.
So if this is signed, when are you foreseeing that you would start the project?
Well, originally we had intended to do it as early as possible, but obviously this has been pushed out. So we're going to have to talk again to our contractors about it and figure out what their schedule is. It's going to be dependent upon them to some extent. I realize there's probably a concern from the village of avoiding peak tourist time. So we'll definitely work around that as well.
I'm here. Will, you can't see my phone, but Ian and I are going back and forth right now. And he says, I've been trying to keep, I don't know the name of the company, engaged and ready. I spoke with him again today on my way home. I told them to be ready. So we're getting ready more quickly.
Okay, well, avoiding foliage season, for instance, would be an absolute necessity.
And to do that, we do have to
It
approve
doesn't say this, so,
Yeah. So I think just to be clear, you're agreeing into the easement. You can't necessarily dictate when the construction starts. So you can advise them when you'd like it to not happen. But
yeah. Well, can we have your commitment that it would not happen during foliage season, for instance?
to the best of their ability.
Yeah, to the best of our ability. I mean, it's tough to know exactly what you mean by foliage season. If you could give us a specific set of dates that we can't do it within, we can do our best to work around that.
That'd be
That
great.
said, we have to also, be able to dig when the ground isn't frozen.
Right.
So
So the last week of September and the first 3 weeks of October, we would not want you back there with all that equipment.
Okay.
Understood.
Yep.
All right, so now we have to vote for the easement. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, does anyone move for the easement for 33 Central?
I'll make a motion to accept the easement as presented.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, guys, you're moving forward.
I just wanted to remind you all that the whole point of this project the whole point of the project is to make it look beautiful. That's our goal in this plan. I just wanted to assuage your concerns about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Liza.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eliza, this will be on the chief of staff's desk, ready for you to come in whenever to sign with the town clerk.
Okay.
So now what everyone's been waiting for. So thanks to Jamie Fox, who a very large bear walked down in front of his house last week. We realized that we really need to start talking about what to do about our bears. And especially in the village, we have such tight quarters. So first we're going to do a presentation and then we'll have questions and things like that after. So are both of you doing a presentation or one of you?
I was gonna do the presentation. So, and, take questions afterwards.
Okay, so come on up, whoever's needing to get a second chair for you.
We hook the computer up?
Eric can,
I haven't got a point.
Do you have a flash drive you can send me or something, or can you email it PowerPoint? If we connect you and lose the whole Zoom connection with my rudimentary IT skills.
Evidence against Mr. O'Keefe. Do you guys know that?
you can't discuss it.
I don't know what Mr. Duffy is or is not telling you. I just want you to know that. And that is why the dispatchers are leaving. Sorry, Brenda.
All right.
You chose the wrong horse.
Can I preface what they're saying with why I brought it up about the Bears?
No, I just wanted you to know we heard you and thank you. Yeah, everybody here's got a bear in their backyard or front yard
I
or
have one in
somewhere.
my very tiny.
You got it going?
They're just becoming.
So how many people here want to hear about the bears? Yeah, we all do. Okay.
I ran into one.
I think there's people online as well, isn't there, Eric?
I don't know their reason for being online, but
They are in.
they're online.
Okay, so just give us a minute because we're going to get through the technical stuff.
Yeah, this was definitely a mother bear. 2 cubs at least.
Yeah. Have a seat. While Eric's checking, you could introduce yourselves.
Yeah. My name is Chris Loriani. I'm a Vermont State Game Warden. Part of my patrol district does include the town of Woodstock, so I am like one of your local game wardens, but there are 30 of us in the state. I don't work 24 hours a day, so sometimes you might see that they're based out here as well.
My name is Bob Adamo. I'm a wildlife biologist with USDA Wildlife Services. We've recently partnered with Fish and Wildlife to create a human bear conflict program in the state.
Guys, have a seat and we'll see how this goes.
You was sending me as a PDF, not as a link.
Nope.
I'm trying to.
Maybe we could have them start.
Yeah, and I'll try to get it going.
Okay.
Can you
so-
start without the PowerPoint and?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it. I
Okay.
just
Okay.
was gonna give you some pictures and things like that, but, so a little bit about the program. It started in the fall of 2024. We kind of got our feet under us, and we really hit the ground running last year. It was a partnership between us and Vermont Fish and Wildlife to take the burden, some of the work off the wardens, as well as Vermont Fish and Wildlife staff. Reports have gone through the roof. Bear incidents have gone through the roof in the last 10 years. Peak was about 1,800, I believe in 2021 or 2022. And we're currently sitting at about 1,500 reports a year. So it was a lot for Fish and Wildlife to handle. So we created the partnership. Basically, when somebody has a bear incident, they go online to Fish and Wildlife's webpage and they fill out a report. If you click on the homepage of Vermont Fish and Wildlife, it comes up about halfway down on the right-hand side. You'll see a picture of a bear with a bird feeder in his mouth. Click that button. There's a link to submit a report. As soon as you submit a report, I get an email. So we have somebody during bear season working 7 days a week. So we can respond to incidents as fast as possible. Our program offers technical assistance. So, for example, if you have a bird feeder in your backyard that you're not supposed to have and a bear comes in and destroys it, we'll send you some information. You know, when you should take your bird feeders down. Taking them down just at night is not okay. They should be taken down from April 1st to, depending on the year, November, end of November. We usually send a link with some information if you want to see birds of other options. Audubon has a great site that has a list of native plants. You could type your zip code in. You can plant different types of plants that provide habitat, nesting area, as well as food for birds. So we don't necessarily, every report that comes in, we give a response to. So a report like a bird feeder, probably get a general response unless it's a kind of a repeat thing. If you say you have chickens and your chickens got killed, we'll send you a more personalized response, offer you a site visit. So we'll actually come out to your property. You know, if it's chickens, we'll make recommendations. If it was, say, a business that had bears in their dumpster regularly, we'd offer a site visit. We'd come out. We have an equipment program where we loan equipment, short-term rental, usually around 3 weeks. But like a chicken example is we'd come out with an electric fence, put an electric fence around your chickens to kind of, you know, stop that immediate threat. It allows people to kind of see if it's something that would work for them, and it gives them time to maybe get their own equipment, which at that time we'll come back and help you set up your own equipment when we take ours away. We have electric mats. So say you had a window a bear was going through, we could put an electric mat down on the ground. So if the bear stepped on it, because you can ask Chris, he'll back me on this one. When a bear enters a building, a garage, a structure, a window, whatever, and they get in, they get food, when they come back, they're going right for that same spot. So we also have noise deterrent devices, kind of similar to a trail camera, motion activated, so they make an alarm sound. So we've lent a lot of that equipment with success, and it's out there for the public. There's no charge for anything. The only thing that we require is that in order for us to go on your property, you just have to fill out it's called the Wildlife Services 12A form. It just basically gives us permission to go on your property.
Sorry, I missed so the report is made at the USDA or at Fish?
No, it's made at Fish and Wildlife.
So Vermont Fish and Wildlife, because we got to get that out to the constituents.
We could probably put that on the website.
Yes.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we'll put that on our website.
And the nice part about that is Fish and Wildlife staff gets it, the bear biologist gets it, I get it, so that everybody's seeing it at once. And plus it keeps all our data and all the information in one spot. So if you have a bear report, bear incident, report it online. Because I have people ask for phone numbers and things like that. Well, if somebody's off on the weekend, or if I'm on vacation, or if somebody else is on vacation, you might not get answered for a week or so. So it's the best way to get it answered and get a response as quickly as possible. And we try to respond to people as quickly as possible. I think what's on there. The main attractants. So whenever I do a talk like this, I go over the main attractants. And so number one is garbage. Garbage is like, if you look at the percentage of reports that come in, it's like 50%. Next is like bird feeders, compost, chickens, beehives are one, small, little smaller, but garbage is the main thing. And in order to keep bears out of garbage, it has to be secure. If we're talking about businesses, dumpsters that have any plastic on them are no good. The bear, whether or not they're chained, clipped, whatever, the bears get on top, they break the tops, they cave them in, they rip the side doors off. There are things you can do to modify a plastic dumpster. Sometimes I've seen, actually I just saw it yesterday in Stowe. They put plywood with nails or screws coming up through. So if the bear went on top, he would, you know, but the best option is an all metal dumpster. Some haulers carry them, some haulers don't. But an all metal dumpster locked correctly, unless it's a really, really big bear and they flip it over, they're not getting into it. And it's not just bears. I mean, raccoons, skunks, they pose an issue with garbage, dragging it out as well. The harder part to me is the residential trash. So if you have a trash hauler that comes on Wednesday and you got to bring your trash to the curb, that's a hard one because a lot of trash haulers have certain cans that you rent from them. Sometimes, depending on how they pick it up, they don't allow you to manipulate them or add straps or anything like that. So that's a real hard one. The answer we give for that is if you know the trash hauler comes at 5 o'clock in the morning, as much as it's not great, bring it out the morning of. Having trash cans outside unsecured, you're asking for trouble. So the best thing you can do is secure it in a building. Use ammonia. Ammonia deters bears. They don't like the smell of it. You could soak rags in ammonia, put them inside your trash can. It'll hold the scent longer. They do make different types of straps, bungee straps, all kinds of different straps. Some people use ratchet straps. They actually sell bear-proof garbage cans that are effective. But again, if you have a certain trash hauler that wants you to use theirs, then you couldn't use something like that. But securing it, whether it's in a building, whether it's in some sort of container, metal container, box, whatever. One thing that some people do an affordable way is they find like a used job box out of a pickup truck, store their trash bags in there. It's all metal. Bear can't get at them. But the pickup in the morning is really the biggest thing. Bird feeders, we consider bird feeders the gateway drug for bears. I mean, we see it because, you know, a pound of black oil sunflower seed has about 2,000 calories. And so when a bear comes out of hibernation in the spring and there's very little on the landscape for them to eat, and they can go, yard to yard and eat a whole thing of bird seed, they're going to do it. And it's basically an escalation. When they start eating bird seed and they eat it a couple of times and then break the bird feeder, and then finally the person doesn't put it back up, then they start looking for garbage and they start going through garbage, and you clean that up, and then, they go through the compost. They don't really find what they like. And then it's like, what's next? Well, the garbage is now in the garage. So now I'm going to go in the garage. And then, when it really escalates, it's cars and buildings. And we're seeing that in a lot of different spots in Vermont. It's a learned behavior and it's not everywhere, but I've been to places where you go down the road and there's paw prints on every car because they found food in the car and they're associating cars with food.
You recommend we lock cars?
Lock your car doors, no food, drink, even as crazy as it sounds, lotion, chapstick, they're attracted to the scent. So if they're in town, I would recommend locking doors. Yep. Compost shouldn't have any meat, dairy, or eggshells. 3 parts brown, 1 part green. Even sometimes when you're putting some fruits in there, they could be attractive. So it's, you want to compost, but you got to limit what you put in there unless you're going to attract them. Trying to think what else. Grills. If you have an outside grill, just make sure you burn it off when you're done. Clean the grease pan regularly. So the grease pan could be very attractive. Don't feed pets outside. feed them inside. If you have animals, don't keep the animal food out where they can access it. Their sense of smell is incredible. And if the wind is blowing the right way, they're going to smell some sort of an attractant from a long ways. I did want to just back up when I'm talking about bird feeders. That includes hummingbird feeders. So a lot of people, I went to a place the other day and she said she had no attractants. And I opened her fence, went in the backyard, and there was 8 hummingbird feeders. And she wanted to know why the bear was around. There's not really a calorie attractant there for them, but the smell of that sugar water brings the bears in from a long ways. And then once they get in there, now they start looking for other stuff. And that bear was up on the porch. So, yeah, let me see.
Can you, we've got a couple of moms and babies. Do you have any advice? Because the babies are running, the mom's running, and everybody's running around.
Yeah, and that's probably the worst situation to have because, I mean, black bears are not aggressive by nature, but if you have a bear, mama bear or babies in the dumpster and the sow is off to the side and you get in between them, you know, that's when she's going to get aggressive towards you. So not all the time, but you know, that's when it could happen. So yeah, that's a tough one. And that's one of the problems that we see in the state and in areas where we're having bear issues. It's, you know, in the spring when there's not a lot of food and you're a sow with 3 little cubs or 2 little cubs and you got to feed 3 mounts, not just one. Where's the easier place to get food than out in the woods or in a dumpster or dumpster to dumpster? And it's almost, it's a learned behavior. They're teaching their cubs that that's where you go to get food. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing an increase in human bear conflicts in the state.
Can I ask a question? Have you thought at all of trying to work with, like, we have a local, not a local, a national trash pickup system here. And so residents, one of them's here today, who's having issues because they can't tie their thing out. Have you thought about working with these groups and seeing if there's like a specialized pickup we can have, or places like in Vermont or a specialized container that they give residents to kind of help with bears, or is it just take it out as late as possible?
I mean, it's definitely been tossed around. You could chime in on that too.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, I know there's been discussions, I think, with trash haulers, and they generally aren't like amicable to making modifications to a lot of stuff. I know it's something that the department is actively working towards a solution with that, and I think this only other solution is putting it out as late as possible. I mean, that's about the most reasonable thing you can do if you don't have any other option. But I think it is something that Vermont as a state is going to have to look at as a, you know, way above Woodstock, and you know. Yeah. But I don't know. We're not there yet.
Okay.
And even with a bear-proof dumpster, you know, if you have a plastic top dumpster and you want to get a bear-proof one, it could cost you more money. So money's always, it always factors into it.
Trustees?
I have a quick, quick question about, I've had neighborhood kids come to our porch because they say they can't get home because there's the bear halfway between our house and their house. And I've always just learned and been taught to make noise and they'll usually go away. Is that your typical advice? Is there anything else that we should do to be proactive, or just let them go away on their own and wait it out?
Well, banging pots and pans, you know, being loud, being obnoxious, you know, people think they're loud, but you're not really you have to be scary to the bear. You know, you can't be timid. You know, we're not used to being yelling and screaming, but you really gotta, you know, draw some fear into that thing. But that's also just a product of them being food conditioned and hanging around. So yeah, it's really a point that I think we should try to make, is this is like it's not a bear problem. It's really like a people behavior problem. And we can't coexist with them. We just got to take reasonable measures. And I mean, bird feeders are a big thing that I see a lot. People think, again, Bob mentioned taking them in at night. Oh, I take my bird feeders in at night. If you ever watch a bird feed, what do? Like half those seeds end up all over the ground. And then like, oh, I clean that up. You don't clean it up enough.
Just the scent's there all day long. So they're smelling it all day long. Not to mention how many people have we talked to from Woodstock recently and reports and stuff that are seeing them during the day. It's not just at night that you're seeing them out and around. They're out all day.
That's for sure.
It's because there's food available.
Mhm.
And, bears aren't nocturnal. They're just around when they're going to strike when the iron's hot, they want the food. So really it's not like rocket science. It's coming down to securing attractants and, when they do get into something, people identifying it, not doing it, and doing something about it, not like refilling the bird feeder or just picking up the trash and then doing the same thing week over week.
This would be maybe more for Chief Chris, but if somebody is not securing their trash and they're leaving it out every night, and that's the problem, is that something
That's
where
something that we can take action on? But I'll tell you, it's not just one individual that's creating these bears. It's a community issue. So yeah, we can definitely address like the most problematic people, especially those that aren't what we really want to know about people that are deliberately feeding bears, like hand feeding in their backyard. They're getting into the same bird feeder over and over again. Somebody's filling it up, those are the things we really want to know about. Like if you have somebody that has trash that gets into it and we go and talk to them, there's, a million others, not a million, but figuratively speaking, there's a bunch of other houses that are having the same problem and it's just whack-a-mole. So it's really comes down to being a good neighbor, right? And doing this thing for your community and for these bears, because ultimately the bear behavior escalates in Woodstock and surrounding areas. We have not gotten to the point of some of the issues that I'm sure you're aware of that are happening in Stowe, which Bob is boots on the ground there. We're talking multiple home entries, vehicle entries.
It's not just there. I mean, there's a lot of places. Stowe, Mad River Valley, had a big uptick in Chittenden County this year, believe it or not. I mean, we got bears. I had a call about a bear in the new north end of Burlington. I mean, it's everywhere and it's not going away anytime soon.
But has there been any, you said they're not aggressive, but has there been any instances where someone's been injured by a bear?
Not here in this area that I'm aware of. I can't think of the last time.
The only time that I could think of is when a bear was in a vehicle and the person didn't realize it was a van and they slid the van door open and the bear came out. And the bear didn't come out aggressively trying to attack the person. The bear had one way out and he just went through the person. I think he got some cuts or whatever, but the other one that if you have them down in town is making sure dogs are leashed. Because, you take your dog out and the dog sees a bear and they don't know it's a bear. They look at it like it could be another dog or whatever, and they want to run over to it. We've had some situations like that throughout the state, so.
Thank you.
Right. So we're gonna move to, how many people in the online have questions?
Wendy has her hand up right now. I don't know anyone else.
Well, I guess we'll go to Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy, you there?
Yes, thank you. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your words. I have two questions, or a point and a question. I live in the village. I have chosen, this is an example of a choice a resident can make, that I've chosen to take my trash to Able and Bridgewater. They receive 2 days a week rather than have pickup at my house. I didn't like being beholden to the truck schedule. So, and I am able to store my garbage in a barn, in a closed space. So I have the flex, I have the advantage of a location interior that's not in my house, but I also have am using a different resource than trash pickup. And it's actually cheaper. But it does require, effort and mobility. So it's not perfect for everyone, but it is one step a resident could take to alleviate their trash can issues at home, is to take control of your trash drop off. My question is about municipalities, because the village has, as you know, many open trash bins for the public and the visitors, which is a necessity for foot traffic. Now, I don't anecdotally know that the bears are eating out of those, but who knows, right? But what do you see municipalities doing with their public trash? Are there good suggestions out there that you know what I'm talking about? Like you're walking down at the park in the green, and there's place for your trash and your recycling, and you keep moving. Some people abuse those cans with household trash, but not everyone, But what are municipalities doing with their trash, like Stowe or?
They're dealing with the same things you're dealing with here. Stowe actually went to Bear Proof. They kind of wanted to try to set an example in the town, and they went with a Bear Proof trash containers.
Like along the sidewalk or whatever, like.
I don't know if they're everywhere, but on town properties, I know.
Okay.
Has anyone ever been to like Yellowstone or Grand Teton National Park? Those like trash bins that are everywhere that you just like pull down, like that's, I think, what you might be referring to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy.
Is that something they're seeing here? Is like somebody getting up in the morning and driving through and all the dumpster or the trash bins in town are turned over?
Not in the central part of the village.
Yeah. But we took some away for some favorite spots.
Yeah.
Like over by Mount Tom.
But we did have an issue at Town Hall last year, almost every week. It was getting to the trash cans downstairs, outside.
Popcorn
From the movie theater. So we moved to a dumpster, bear safe dumpster, and now we haven't had any issues since then.
Yeah. It's causing you remove the attractant, they stop coming around.
Yeah.
We did have actually a little trouble, I think it was last summer in the village remember by the post office, the bear came down through and dumped over the trash at the post office, and I think also up behind Lake Bar Harbor Bank.
Yeah, they took care of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Ayers has a question. Is that you, Tom? You have your hand up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Tom Ayers from the Vermont Standard. I just had 3 quick questions for clarification. I couldn't hear very well when the 2 presenters introduced themselves, so would they mind just reintroducing themselves and their affiliations?
I'll go first. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm Chris Floriani. I'm a Vermont State Game Warden with the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
And is that FLORIANI?
FLOREANI.
EANI. Excellent. And the gentleman from the USDA?
Robert Acabo, ACABBO. And I'm a wildlife biologist.
With USDA. Excellent.
Correct.
And then, gentlemen, do you know, is there any way of knowing approximately how many sightings have been reported in the village this season? I'm aware of the first one that was widely reported back in mid-June, juveniles and a mom, I think, coming down off Mount Tom. But any guesstimate as to how many sightings there have been in the village itself thus far? No.
I couldn't tell you.
I'd have to go to the database and figure that out.
Okay, and then my last question would be, I believe the chair referenced at the beginning of this presentation that evidently Trustee Fox has had a visitor in his backyard. Could you speak a little bit about that, Jamie?
Yeah, not so much in, well, our garbage has been subject to bear
Okay.
activity, but we've ratchet strapped it and that's worked successfully.
Mhm.
But, and I have a comfort level. I'm bringing it up on behalf of the neighborhood because I see parents getting concerned and we're starting to see them during the day, and we're starting to see pretty big bears during the day coming through.
Wow.
So, that's why I wanted to bring it to the table, just to make sure everyone was getting
Sure.
educated on how to handle it.
Sure. Where do you live, Jamie? What neighborhood are you referencing?
Oh, Maple Street in the village.
Okay, excellent. Well, hopefully we can educate people a little bit in this week's issue. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. So we're going to go to the floor now. How do you want to do this, Eric?
It's your meeting.
No, I mean, do you want him to come up and
Yeah,
sit?
if it come up so we can get so we see them on camera. and get their names.
Whoever's first, would you like to come up?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Right up there, please.
He's on the camera.
I'm on the camera.
Yeah.
I just have
We
the
can't hear
microphone
you.
as well. Yeah.
I just want to know, how many bears are there?
You have to
You know, you,
Oh, yes, I
I'm
do.
Bruce McClelland. I live in College Hill. How many bears are there? Like how many, we're talking about sightings, but is it the same bear we're seeing over and over? How many, do you have any sense of how many different bears are currently living in Woodstock? Okay, I didn't know if you were tagging any of them or,
How
No,
big is their range? How big is the bear's range?
Depends on the bear. A larger boar will have a bigger range, a sow with yearling cubs, smaller, a sow with little cubs, even smaller than that.
What's a big place?
It depends on seasons. It depends on food availability. I mean, they change their habitat from season to season as food becomes available.
All right. My name is Steve Shama, and I live on Shirtlift Lane, just up the hill from here. My wife and I have had 4 bear sightings in the last month. 8:30 in the morning, I put out the garbage and the recycles, and within about a half an hour, there was a bear over there ripping everything apart. He left, and so I put everything back, and then a half an hour later, he came back again. And so I don't feel safe. The next time, bear was coming down our driveway and didn't do anything. And the fourth time was just very recently, within a few days, my wife noticed the bear on our back deck, eating from one of the trees. Now, the biggest issue at this point in time, I don't feel safe actually walking around my house because of that. But the biggest issue is we figured, let's just wrap up the containers that are totally open. If this were a campsite with unlocked boxes, with the garbage, people would say this is crazy. But this is what Woodstock is. We're a campsite with unlocked garbage cans. So I called Casella, which we use, and I would imagine many people use, and they said, you can't lock them anymore in any way because we have new arms that are going to be coming, and the guys are not coming back and putting them in there. Mechanical arms are coming on the side of the garbage trucks, and they're going to pick up your garbage. If it's locked, it won't go into the bin. And so I said, well, what do we do? Well, I'm sorry, but as of a certain date, and that's going to be soon, Casella will not allow you to lock your garbage cans. Now, our neighbors across the street who happen to live in Ray Bourgeois' house, the McElroys, have a garbage can, I don't remember the name of it, that when you tilt it up, it opens up, but in the position that's standing over there, it doesn't. Now, whether a bear can get in there anyway, I don't know, but that's an interesting, creative idea. But I think that Woodstock has to stop feeding the bears. And just as someone pointed out, you can't just have one neighborhood doing it and another neighborhood not. So we have a problem all in Woodstock over here, and somehow we have to get together. I suggested to some of the people, Erica specifically, that maybe you have to tell Casella that if you want to do business over here, you have to give us special garbage cans, and that would be one incentive. But I can't, as Steve Shama and my wife Jeannie, just call them and say, I'm sorry, but we're not going to do business with you. Well, if we don't do business with you, then my neighbors will be having garbage cans around. So it has to be done, I think, on a town level. And that's kind of what I think everyone is talking about. It'd be nice if there were a town experiment. We know how many bear sightings there are. We make amends, we do things, we tell Casella to allow us to have something done, different garbage cans, and we actually be a model for all of Vermont to say, can a town have that less bear sightings? Those are my thoughts at this point, and I thank you very much for listening.
Thanks. Comments on that?
Steve,
Yes.
that trash container that he has is a bear-proof container. They went, I don't know, somewhere down south and got it.
I think you can get it on Amazon. I think my wife
Possibly.
checked, maybe $350. But
Is
Casella
it
gave
a
us.
Barracuda?
What's that?
Is it a Barracuda?
Don't know the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know what
Apparently
one
it has a
you got.
tilting mechanism that opens up specifically for these hands that, pick them up. The idea is that you have to tell everyone in Woodstock to buy these things. Casella gave us our garbage cans for nothing. Are they willing to give us the new garbage cans for nothing? Or is there a deal that we can make? But it's gotta be a town-wide, let's make a deal if you want our business. That's the way I would couch it. I understand it's a business decision for them, but it's a safety decision and it's way of life for us.
Do we have some other questions?
Not seeing any online.
As you look, you've been writing notes, so I just want to make sure you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Purvis, and I live on College Hill Road, and I've already submitted an incident report, and there have actually been 11 incidents on College Hill in the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And there were 2 incidents in my house, which is 3 College Hill. We don't have a grill. We don't have pet food. We don't have garbage. And what was the last thing? Oh, bird feeders. This one bear, I have a video of it, just uses our property as a thoroughfare. It's very nonchalant. It doesn't scare easily. It has come up to our property. We were sitting out in our back deck area on Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it came up sort of from here to the podium area, and then it eventually scampered across the street. And we also saw it on 4th of July at noontime. We were on our porch making a lot of noise, and it just nonchalantly walked through our property with I believe, a bird in its mouth, and then crossed over to the Geller's house. So it's very at ease in our area. It looks like it's about 200 pounds. So that's the first thing. I just wanted to give you some data points to consider. And I think we're concerned because it's very comfortable in our area, in our neighborhood. So I'd love to hear just some advice. We do have air horns, et cetera, but I would love to hear some advice about that. And then I do want to correct one thing about any injury to anybody. There actually was a woman in Sharon, I think last year. Her name is Susan Lee. You can look it up in the news reporting. She was hospitalized because a bear attacked her, threw her to the ground, and then basically just scraped her body, and she was taken away to the hospital. So while we all think they're adorable and lovely and kind and charming, they can be quite dangerous. And she was only saved because her little tiny dogs came running up and scared the bear. But the bear was definitely attacking her. So Susan Lee, she was 61. She was taken to the hospital. So I think one of the gentlemen said he wasn't sure if there'd been any incident, but there you have it. So lastly, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate all of your information and your service. And I do want to have a particular shout out and thank you to the USDA folks. Somebody from the office called me on Sunday, not once, but twice, to get more information based on the bear incident report I had submitted on Sunday. So they're very helpful. This woman couldn't have been nicer. She was very understanding. She offered a lot of comfort, etc. So thank you so much to the game warden and to the USDA. So back to you. Oh, wait, my neighbor over here wants to add. Thank you.
Your name and you live in the village?
I'm Carol Gaudette. I live in College Hill next to or near Lisa. And I just want to add again, thank you folks for coming and for your expertise, and thank you, trustees, for having this presentation. I just want to say that I saw a large bear in the National Historic Park one evening. It was still really light. It was, I don't know, 7 o'clock. And I haven't been going there. I used to hike in the National Historic Park all the time. And I'm afraid to go there now, which is sad. And it's, it's a way of life kind of thing. It's sad to think that people aren't enjoying the park as they could be. I agree with Lisa. I don't want to harm bears. But I hear what we're saying. It's not a bear problem. It's a people problem. So I look forward to us coming to a solution. Yeah. Thank you.
So bear reports. So we should be doing them regularly, just so you know where the bears are, who's where.
Yeah, it just gives us, if we're getting a bunch of reports from, say, Woodstock, like I did today, we kind of know it's on the radar, right? And
Yep.
so even if it's just, it's not anything serious, a home invasion, car break-in, it's just like bird feeder garbage. Well, we'll usually send somebody out and say, hey, spend some time here, look around, see if you can find unsecured dumpsters, if there's bird feeders out, that kind of thing. So it just, when we get information, then we kind of know. And the first thing we do is alert Chris and say, hey, we're getting a bunch of reports from Woodstock, put it on your radar. So that, and we talk, he tells me what he hears, because he hears things I don't hear, I hear things he doesn't hear. So we try to put it together, and when there's something that, a place where we see an issue arising, try to get on top.
Like the bear reports are super helpful, because just getting a phone call and like somebody's like, oh, I saw a bear in my yard. Like, it's good information to know, but I cover 7 towns and I can't keep track of every single, bear in every single town. When it goes to like a central location, we're much better to quantify this data and make like informed decisions, as opposed to just anecdotal stories of people having a bear, in their dooryard. So, but again, things that I do want to know about are intentional feeding, bears that are breaking into homes, breaking into cars, that kind of stuff. Because then we will likely, get involved with it, because those are like the line in the sand for Fish and Wildlife. That's truly creating an unsafe situation. So that's when I get involved with that.
Can I just make a statement? I also, along with ladies, thank you guys very much for showing up. But we do have a problem in Woodstock. We have many bear sightings. I didn't even know that I was supposed to report them. So add 4 to the 10 that she saw. So we have a problem. The question is what to do about it, given that. And you mentioned garbage. And we mentioned we have lids that just open up because that's what Casella wants us to do. And when we wrap them tight, Casella says no in the next maybe week or month, that we can't do that. So we're going to be feeding bears. We know we have a problem. We're going to be feeding bears. And the question is, what do we do? Do we approach it from a business point of view from Casella? Do we restrict them? Is it possible to restrict them? Is it possible to get the bear-proof ones that, if they're tilted over, they open up, which is a great answer to that. But can everyone afford those kinds of things? But this is a town issue, and I think it needs to be solved in some way. I like bears also, and it isn't a person issue. It's us, the way we want to live. But it's a safety issue also. Again, I don't feel safe even throwing out my trash in the mornings, and we do it early and they pick it up right quickly. So I think that the town needs to make something to do, some statement that we're going to work on this in some way. And within a few months, we'll have maybe a solution. That's what I would recommend. I'm not an angry citizen. I love you guys. I know you do good work for all of us. The question is, what can we do about the bears?
Wendy has her hand up again.
Wendy?
Thank you. I wanted to ask the game warden, I'm sorry, I'm just forgetting already. If you could speak quickly about bear hunting season and what the state might be doing, given that there seems to be a nice healthy increase in bear population? Is that, well, A, is that true? Or is it just behaviors changing or the population is also increasing? I guess that's my first point of the question.
So I guess first thing is I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm not involved in like the
Okay.
management decisions. But
I was just thinking about, your department. Yeah.
yeah, no, and I'm not like really the person to like speak on decisions. That's part of like the Fish and Wildlife Board and also like our biologists, right? But what I can tell you is that yes, there has been a upward increase in bear population. Like our bear biologists have said that there are more bears in Vermont. I think what,
Okay.
78,000 or something
And
like that.
and we do have a bear hunting season
Correct.
when
So
it's
that's
permitted.
yep.
So, okay.
I will say that I don't think this is an issue that hunting is going to resolve in terms of any sort of
Okay.
like adjustment on population. There's just not enough bear hunters in the state, let
Okay.
alone Woodstock or the Windsor County, to really have any sort of meaningful
Okay.
impact on it. And then, yeah, it runs from like September 1st to, it's potentially the bear rule is under like, I guess, debate right now with the Fish and Wildlife Board. So the bear hunting season may be extended. They're talking about some extra tags and all this other stuff that has not come to fruition yet, but it is something that's on the table. But again, our commissioner, I think, was just on, wrote some op-eds, which I don't know if anybody's read those. It's like, it's a problem that we're not going to hunt our way out of.
Right. Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what kind of question I was asking, just to get, another perspective.
Yeah.
I think we're rich in habitat here. Our beauty of our village, we're surrounded by these beautiful hills and a park, and we have a river, drinking water running right through. So we are in a natural pathway for habitat, especially I'm on the Mount Tom side of things where they go down to the river, which is necessary for them. So I do agree with the other sentiments. We really have to come up with a cohesive community plan where everybody can find a way that they do their part specific to their location. But we have to create some incentives for teaming together to, I'm saying this to the trustees and to Eric, to really take this on in a grassroots, heartfelt way, where we're all working together. I'd be happy to participate on some level, whatever mechanism we think we should go forward with, on that. I've already campaigned on 2 trash cans, so right, Eric? So anyway, sign me up. All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? One more.
Sorry, just if you could walk us through what happens if you actually have to take action. If a bear does invade a home or a car, what happens next? We heard all about all the ways to prevent bear activity in our area, but what actions?
So if the bear's like on scene, like the person, like let's say a bear's in your house and you get there, the first thing you should do is call 911. Don't call my cell phone, call 911, because realistically Woodstock PD is going to be the first people to show up there. And then Woodstock Dispatch is going to try to get a hold of Vermont State Police Dispatch and get a game warden, whether that be me or somebody else. And one of us will be coming. If the bear's in the home, we'll probably give Woodstock PD the green light to euthanize the bear safely if it comes out of the house. Or, if it's not safe, then we'll get there and maybe come up with a plan. It might also run off, and in that case, we might attempt to trap it at the house later. And then, euthanization is the end goal at that point. We don't trap and relocate bears in Vermont. If anybody's been around here for a while, have you heard of the story of Mink the bear? Yeah, exactly. So relocation doesn't work. So it's a sad end. The bear always loses, unfortunately, and it's a result of being food conditioned. through human sources.
No rebuilding.
Not for adult bears. Ben Killam's over in Lyme. We will take abandoned and orphan cubs over there, but they only rehabilitate cubs. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
And we
you.
can put their information on the, on our town website, how to get everything they need. Okay,
Yeah, the reporting link, and then there's also a web page about living with black bears, and there's a ton of resources on there, as much as you want to, dive into. And there's all sorts of do-it-yourself stuff about, bear deterrence and things like that too as well.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks
Yeah,
a lot
thanks.
for
Thanks.
coming.
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Motion activated.
I actually have a file that I use for outreach that has a bunch of bear wise.
Okay.
It just has from, backyard stuff to electric fencing. If you want, I can email you the file.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, please do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got
Thank
your
you.
email.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a
Thank
ton.
you.
Okay, our nice and patient hot dog food truck,
Yeah.
Stand on the Green, has been going all. Thank you.
Some paper for you to see.
Thank you.
Really quick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I got the email. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So my name is Andres Rangel. I live in Woodstock town and no town, sorry, I live in Bridgewater. And I have been on the hospitality business for the past 5 years. I work at the Woodstock Inn and Resort, and I also work at Sante. And I'm kind of like the first person who kind of like have to deal with customers and kind of like have a little community like communication with people and tourists. And I'm a local dad. My daughter is 5 years, so she goes to West. And what Dog Ducks came with the idea of not competing with any restaurant here. It's more like, like when I work at Sante and also at the Woodstock Inn, we have to face like people and tell them like, unfortunately, we have fully committed, especially in our peak season, And for us, it's kind of like a bummer thing to tell people that you can go to Whitebear Junction or maybe Radland, which are the nearest towns that they can have some food for their families. And part of the reasons we want to bring that is because we want to we love the town, and also we love our kids. My partner, which is Tom D'Angelo, he's working at Sante tonight, so he's not able to come here today. And we both were chefs before we work in the front of the house business. And we cook for our daughters, my daughter, and he cooked for his son. So part of like not competing with restaurants is like we want to do something gourmet, something that you as a dad, grandfather, or grandma want to like. I can go get a hot dog make with some lean chicken breast and some beets and some like a kind of like gelatin. In that way, we can like provide kind of like a good quality food in town. And sorry, I got some notes here.
You're doing great.
Thank you so much. And we are a small family-run business, so we have no one behind us. It will be Tom and I. And those are kind of like, this is our food truck. We bought it like 4 months ago, and we're trying to see how can we present it, see how can we like run it. And also our uniforms, I think I sent those to, we want something that make you guys proud and make our community proud, and all the parents like get something like, it's cute, it's small, it's a little small like a trailer. And we are not here also for like asking for that something like a regular permit. We're looking for like a pilot program that you can like maybe see, hey, those guys can be maybe on Mondays where most of the restaurants are busy. I worked yesterday at the Woodstock Inn, and we didn't have the capacity to serve all the people who were coming in town. So we're just kind of like hoping. I know you guys have the another trailer around the White Cottage, and I understand some reason might be not a competition because kind of like I want to have a hot dog is good. I'm not complaining, but I want something different, something that people in town can get discount, people, employees, people who like also teachers, students. I mean, I have a 5-year-old daughter that I want to like keep growing here around in this area. And that's something that Ton and I were like looking for work. And as I said, we're asking for a permanent business. We're simply asking for opportunity to prove that we can be a positive addition to Woodstock. We love this town. We work here. We raise our families here. And we, as I said to my daughter, want something always to look nice and pretty. And that's our plan. And that's pretty much our business ideas today.
Questions, trustees?
So it looks like you're asking about various locations. You're not set on any single location. You're looking for somewhere obviously accessible in town. See.
I mean, we love to be in the green, but I know, I mean, we're flexible, we're like looking for something like, we work at Sante as well. So he was willing to maybe let us stand on there on Mondays when they have no business going. So that would be a good spot on Mondays. And as I say, our period of time will be short. I will be 11 to 3:30, or also Santa Claus 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And always like at 3 o'clock when we want to go on a break, people like wanted to have something to eat. So that period of time between 3 o'clock and 5 p.m. is a gap that we can fill up, especially in police season. Yeah, and Mondays are like the busiest days in the Woodstock Inn, better than Fridays and Saturdays because most of the restaurants close on that day.
What is the process? And I'm asking because I haven't been through this yet, but a new business entity that wants to
Well, right
create a
now,
presence.
because I haven't finished what I was supposed to finish a while ago, they apply for a permit through the police station and then they pay for the permit and then whatever parking spaces they take for whatever days, they go to the administrator at the police station and they pay for their individual parking spaces. So, and then it's also up to us to decide, is this good? Myself, I think it's a great idea. I'm speaking only for myself. And then considering his schedule and locations, there are certain places that we can say, okay, you can do it here. But the pull-off, who owns that pull-off? We don't want to use that, do we?
Which pull-off?
The pull-off off the across from Pizza Chef? Is that our land?
I'd have to look in to see if it is or not. I know we do sometimes have police vehicles there doing speed traps.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how does anyone feel about the green?
I don't think the green is a good option, because we have one there and that was, a lot of people didn't even want that one there, but it serves a purpose. But I think doing more than one at the green would be a problem. But there are other places. I mean, you mentioned Sante on Mondays. That might be a good situation.
Yeah.
I don't think that the pull-off, even if it was available, would be good for you.
No.
It just isn't a good spot for it.
Sante's would actually,
But that's foot traffic, and Mondays, there's a lack of food in the village, especially during high season. So I think that might be a good place to start.
Yeah, Mondays over there because I think there's a piece like a business property, so he can let us park inside. This trailer is really small, and as I said, I mean, I know White Cottage is not there every single day. I know they have different days, and as I mentioned, we're not competing like with hot dogs. We're just trying to fill a gap in between hours, and as I say, we're flexible. Like it hasn't to have to be 5 days or 3 days. It could be 2 days. It could be Sunday, Monday, 11 through 4 o'clock. And as I say, our trailer, as you can see, is a small trailer. It doesn't occupy much space, and we were willing to pay for all our permits and license. We're just looking for something local, people who really care about and work in this town for 5 years. And it's just a pilot way. We can do 3 months. Or maybe at the end of September, you guys, at the end of foliage, we will meet again and see how the community receive our hot dog. And then based on that, maybe you guys can extend a little bit that. But as I say, let's try not to close all our chances. I know that it has to be another meeting about it. And, oh, that's it.
Are you
How-
currently, oh, sorry, are you currently working with any organizations that are putting on special events that you're getting involved with separate from doing a permit for town? Where like if there's a music festival or something, are you already present in the community in any way right now?
Actually, no, this is our first kind of like, like telling people what are our plan. However, my friend Tom is also like sending emails about Witchy and sending some different spots that we can be located to. But yeah, no, we're also willing to do festivals and try to go wherever it's needed.
You might talk to Pentangle about the Friday night concerts at the East End, because they have food trucks that come there.
I think
They're
it
not
works.
always the same one. Oh,
I think they were.
Yeah, no, we talk with that guy also as well, but I mean, Best Buy will be asked, the green, no, on the line to you. And as I say, it could be 1 or 2 days. We don't need that much to start.
Well, Sante's has just as much traffic as the Green does. So, I mean, how does anyone feel about taking the parking space, purchasing a parking space in front of Sante's?
I think that would be a good place to experiment.
We're gonna park inside because the food trail is really small. So you can even you pay less than like a one spot.
So I mean, this was warned as a discussion, you didn't move to a vote, so I think you can discuss it, you probably don't want to vote on it.
Yeah, we don't need to vote.
Okay, so you want to wait until,
August.
I think in the meantime, would you be applying for a permit and doing all of that? Or do we need to vote on a location before that happens? Or
So I think right now, my suggestion to the board is not to take a vote because it was not warned as a vote. So that aspect, you would not be giving him authority to do anything. He could do more research, look at things, come back in August with more information. And then the board could decide where to go from there.
right, so maybe talk about the hours of Sante's, figure out what they are. Michelle can help you out. She's right over there with any applications or work. Pull off from Pizza Chef probably won't work.
Can I represent?
Yep.
The Super Bowl with the hands up, job, but I'd also recommend reaching out to the History Center. They had the parking area down below. We tried to do a food truck there last year or 2 years ago. I don't think it worked as well as we wanted to, but I think they might be amenable to a food truck as well. So that's another.
That is a good spot.
Yeah.
You just gotta make sure you're up front and not back.
Yeah, so Sante, History Center potentially, but also, the trustees can decide in August as well.
That's a good suggestion.
Somebody have a hand up?
Yeah, Eloise and Wendy,
What?
Wendy and
What is the dimensions on here?
It's tiny, looking at behind his truck.
5 at 6 feet or 5, really small.
Brenda.
6 by 5? Oh,
Very small.
how did I not see that? Oh,
That
it's in the
could fit
back,
inside
yeah.
your salon one, Brenda.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know which.
Oh,
days
that is
are-
pretty tiny.
I think White Cottage is Monday through Thursday.
Sunday.
Sunday through Thursday.
So
Sunday through Wednesday.
now
I
it's
think.
now it's Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friday to Monday.
Right.
So, Wendy?
But your other spots would take care of that too, especially that history center spot, the East End spot, or talk to the guy that rents, Mulfair Mini, right? He's renting that spot.
Yeah.
You can be right next to him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Those, rather than taking a town spot, that might work for you. I'm in favor of this. I think this would be a great thing to bring to town in the hours.
I love hot
that we're
dogs.
doing. And yeah, I think it's a great idea and that you're gonna apply.
As I said, we're flexible.
Be
If
my
this has
last
to be
day.
only one day, that White Cottage, there.
Okay.
We'll be all.
Yeah, we'll talk around. If you need help, something, contact one of us and we'll help you. Our emails are there. So you can help, send us some notes or something. We're happy to help you.
Much everyone.
could I just ask one?
And
more
we have
question?
Wendy.
Oh, sorry.
Wendy wants to speak.
Thank you for unmuting me. Thank you. Yes, I just would like, I'm thinking about trying to picture the Sante location and I was gonna ask for clarification. What I'm wondering about is the sidewalk when people are walking by. So how would you set up at Sante, for example? You have a small food truck in the parking space. Where would your food truck go?
So
When you
Santa now, I don't know if
picture
you've
that.
seen that, right? Like,
Um,
blue tent that they have. So a food truck will be able to just get in there, so it won't be on the parking spot, actually.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So
be
it would
great.
be on where you enter the building, close to the building.
On the left side, and there is when you enter to Santa, on the right side, you see all the outside seating. Will be on the
Yes.
left side. I think they're doing on Sundays like Taco Street on Sundays.
That would be great spot.
Yeah.
So customers would stand on this, on the property, not on the sidewalk. It's really about the sidewalk, my question. Yeah.
Yeah, they would
Okay.
be inside of the property.
I mean, would they be, if you had a line, would the line be on the sidewalk? That's my question.
They can be on the right side where are the for us.
Where-
there are 4 tables, and we don't.
Got it.
I mean,
That would be,
I-
yeah, okay. That would be
Last-
the thing, yeah,
on the,
I was wondering about.
People, there is enough room for. I mean, at least it's a line of 200 people, but.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else? who wants to bring up? Eliza? I can't see her.
Elisa, hi.
Oh, Elisa, hi.
Elisa Charlo, I live in the village. I just wanted to make a couple of comments on this. I wish you came around earlier because I really am against food trucks on the green and I would have much preferred you than that big white cottage thing. But I am against it on the green. I think it's a mistake to be doing this at all. I think it would be amazing if you were at the farmer's market and at all the events on the green, and I hope that you get involved in all of those. And I just wanted to echo what everyone else said. I think this is a place for private land. There's now a pizza cart at East End on someone's land. I don't know if you've considered that. I don't know if there's an option there, but I think that could be interesting. And I think all the events are great and the farmer's market would be amazing. And I hope that overall that we don't increase food trucks in town. And I don't think the town should be doing that. I think it's against all the private businesses to make those decisions. And but I think your plan is great and I wish you luck and find the right path to get there. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Well, get a hold of us.
I already talked to the people like
Yeah.
as the 2 food trucks here, and no, but as I said, I have to try in the best buy,
Yep.
And I go on ups. And yeah, just keep me a day and I will definitely reach back.
Should we have them come back?
Yeah, we can check in with them in a few weeks. and
Okay,
what
see how
we're
you're
doing.
doing.
But
Okay.
starting
Thank you
listening.
so much, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're heading into the Halloween discussion and Sarah, I assume is here. I see you there.
Hi,
Sarit.
that's right, Sarit. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarit. The hot dogs should come to the Bridgewater Mill. And also, while I have you, when I was summoned to this meeting, I asked if I could schedule the 2 bake sales on the green. So I want to bring this up now. October 4th, Sunday, and October 11th. The PTO is trying to have bake sales during those 2 times. So I just wanted to bring it to the attention and ask permission for that.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Kitty.
Yeah, that's well, me as well. So we're gonna,
Yeah.
so Kitty's gonna send out language the next few days about how to sign up for those dates.
Okay, well, hopefully next time I can be earlier in the meeting. And yeah, you tell me, last year Seton called in a favor with the PTO to help with Halloween, and we did. But I'm not sure. You guys tell me, because I think that the PTO were really hard up for volunteers, and October is a very busy month with our harvest supper. Already I'm like scrounging around about who's going to help with cooking the 20 turkeys, and then I've got these bake sales. I've got back to school, and it's a lot. And I think that the Halloween, I love that there's a tradition that the streets are closed, but I can't lead it. And also I'm gonna be away for the 2 weeks before Halloween, so I can try to get some volunteers, but I can't be heading the PTO, you know, I'm not sure what the plan is or what you wanted to talk about.
Well, this is just the beginning discussion. I mean, we continue to try different models. We tried to do it as trustees and it took an extraordinary amount of time with 2 trustees and 1 employee doing somewhere between 50 and 100 hours.
Well, that's how it went last year.
No,
Seton-
I'm talking about, hold on a second, Sarah. Sarit, the trustees got the candy, Seton and I and Kitty helped, broke it up into individual bags, had to do it over and
So
over
it's
again.
about distributing candy.
It's not just, it's the whole process from the
Yeah,
very
but
beginning
that's
and it's very time consuming.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a job for trustees.
No, I'm just trying to clarify
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think too, this is.
We're talking about the procuring and distribution and the organization and then the distribution of the candy. That this is like a thing that the town puts on. The purview of the PTO is the parent teacher organization. So we're trying to raise money for the schools and for the teachers and enriching programs for the schools. So we did do the favor of, you know, me and 3 other ladies were there and just organizing the candy, and then there was 2 trucks that went out. But like as far as I think there was some misunderstanding last year as well, as far as who's like coordinating getting the right addresses, getting the police involved. You know, I don't know. I could help organize volunteers, but I'm very stretched thin, as I said. And this harvest supper, the 20 turkeys. I'm there right now. And that's at like October 4th. And then the bake sale. And anyway, it's just I think it's a lot to ask of the PTO. And I'm not I can ask volunteers, but I don't want to say, oh yes, I'm leading this.
So let me take a big step back. So thank you so much for what you did last year. I'm one of the houses that gets some of the candy and it helps. Every little bit helps. So in the past, Eric, there been donations that buy that candy? What's the?
The people last year was also responsive. We got 2 volunteers to put bins in and keep track of bins in like 7 different locations, including Jake's, including Max, including a lot of different locations. And those 2 volunteers were always making sure that emptying the bins and distributing the bins and then bringing them back. So there's that.
Okay.
So the town does, we pay a percent, we give money. every
Yeah,
year for
so
candy.
there's donations we asked for. There's also money allocated.
1,500 was spent
Hold
last
on,
year.
Eric's gonna answer. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, there's money allocated in the budget. I think, I forget what the actual terminology is, and the trustees every year have historically allocated like $1,500 to the candy purchase. The town usually does another $1,500. And that money, and then a town staff member historically has bought all the candy. Historically, the candy has been stored at town hall. Historically, staff member and the trustees have come together on a Saturday, organized the whole thing. The PTO helped a lot last year. The police hand out pieces of paper, and then volunteers, usually trustees at PTO, deliver all the candy. And then the town also closes off the road with police and fire. So it's a whole effort with a lot of unpaid hours on volunteers, and then also staff time as well.
And it comes bulk. So you've got bags of 120 pieces, so you have to break
Yeah,
those
you have
up.
120 species, you have 120 Snickers, you can't get
You
it.
can't
so-
just drop it in, so it's time consuming.
Okay. All right.
I was sick of candy for once in my life.
And what are we hoping to decide tonight?
It was the stuff that for me, it was 2 things. One was certain reach out about the PTO not being able to carry the heavy load this year. So one is what's the next step there? Right. 2, there was a discussion last year of changing what roads were closed. And I think it got to the point where I think it was like September, and we're like, well, we can't make any decisions now because it's happening in a few weeks. So I want to put this on the agenda now. So if the trustees want to discuss the future Halloween and Woodstock, where in July we have some time to make any decisions you want to make. if there are any changes you want to make.
Okay, all right. I'm hearing that the PTO may not be able to help. Sounds like that was coming through pretty clear.
The road closures,
Yeah, I
from
don't,
what I've seen for 2
No.
years in a row.
I said that I could try to help have volunteers and put it out because it's a really important thing for the families. But I said that me personally, I can't lead the charge and say, oh, I'm taking care of everything. Like I would like to see the town lead on this and tell how many volunteers, where to be, when to be, and that situation. But I can't take it on personally, but I can help with wrangling volunteers and the word out.
And that is on us extremely labor intensive.
no, right, we might need a Halloween committee and put out a call to see.
We've tried
Ah,
and not been successful. If you would like to take this up yourself, we would be
No,
happy
no,
to.
No, absolutely not.
We have tried for
100%.
years to get a Halloween
Yeah, so-
committee.
So I'm just trying to get some information.
Yeah. So
Is there a concern, I guess, to maybe take one thing off the table, is there currently a concern with the roads that are closed? I just have seen it working during my
That's
time.
worked for decades.
Yeah, I think if you change hold on, sorry. I think if we change the roads, people wouldn't necessarily know where to go. People come from all over. It is just part of a discussion. I wouldn't change different roads.
Yeah, I would leave it the same.
I would leave it High Street, Golf and Maple.
Right. So I think to give some context or historic context here, I think what happened was we had a trustee a few years ago who did the bulk of the work by themselves.
Yeah.
Was kind of like, I'm not going to do this again. I think Lisa helped that year. And then last year's like, the discussion came like, well, we can't get anyone to organize the candy, which is the biggest part of it.
It's the bulk of it.
Then what does that mean for where Halloween happens in Woodstock? Because those houses want and need the extra candy because they're having an influx of people coming to the doors. So it's almost like we have to make sure if we want to keep it in that location, we have volunteers willing to work to distribute the candy. And so when the conversation came, can we not get volunteers? And that's when the PTO stepped up and made sure we had volunteers. The conversation next was, oh, we don't have those volunteers. Can we still have these streets closed? Because do we have enough capacity to provide the free candy to the houses that are there?
Well, it sounds to me like there's a possibility we'll have volunteers. We won't have Sarit, but we could have volunteers so long as there's someone to tell them what they need to do.
Ideally,
That's what I'm hearing.
So, I mean, this is July, so I want this agenda now, so we can get those volunteers, and so by September, we know we have these people ready to go.
Sarit, can you get back to us next month with the ability, saying, yes, you found volunteers. They're not gonna take the leadership role you did, but they will do what they're asked to do to help the situation, especially with the candy. Can you get back to us and say, yes, I found 3 people or whatever it is you can do?
I guess we should also say,
Let her answer that question.
Yes. And also it was Seton who bought the candy and had the list of all the addresses and who made sure that the police were involved. It's not like such a Herculean effort. It's just that I'm going to physically not be there like the 10 days before. So I can, as the president of the PTO, put it out, find the volunteers. But like last year, some things went wrong and then we were blamed and the buck it seemed to the public that the buck stopped with the PTO when it should have stopped with the town. And so I just want to just make the distinction that the PTO, the volunteers that I found, we're working for the town. It's not that like, oh, this is a PTO driven event. Like all the dots and the T's must be, it stops. It's a town event, and we can, because it's really important, we can find the volunteers. I won't be there personally, but I think I can find 2 people with a truck to go. All the we put bags. Each house gets like 3 or 4 bags of candy, and some houses say it's not enough. But
so I do want to mention before you do this is a 50-hour commitment. In order to open the candy, just put it all away, do everything that needs to be done. It's a 50-hour commitment.
Does it have to be?
Well,
No.
yeah, because you have to, hold on. You have to put candy in individual bags and then.
No, you
but if
don't.
you have,
Yeah, that's not what we got.
no, if you have a thing of 150 candies,
You have the
what do you
grocery
do with it? Dump it in a house?
Can you let
plastic.
Sarah talk?
You have the plastic bags that I got donated from Max or from a grocery store, and you put each bag gets you buy $1,500 worth of candy from Amazon or BJ's or something like Seton did last year, and then and then you have like 50 houses that need bags, and each you're not like putting individual candies in each bag like equally. You're putting 3 bags of candy in each bag. Then there's a truck that needs to go like filled to the brim with with the candy, and then there needs to be probably 2 trucks that drive slowly, and then there's a driver, and the kids go out and hang it on the exact doorknobs corresponding to the addresses supplied by the trustees. So it's doable, and it's not, I don't think it's 50 hours, but I just want to make sure that like the PTO is we're volunteering, and this is like a town effort, and if more, and that like the list that it's like supervised or over like the addresses we get for that we don't, I'm not responsible for the cops for the lists of the addresses, and that and that when there's complaints that the town is the town takes them and not the PTO.
Rick, what went wrong last year?
What?
I live right there. I didn't think anything went wrong last year.
Emails, and then they were directed to me, and it was like a very stressful time, and I couldn't answer, and everybody was like up in arms, and they didn't get the candy on their doorknob like the neighbor did, and that's what went wrong. And then some people say they didn't get enough candy, and there are like all these complaints coming to my PTO email address.
Okay,
So
I'll let you know, just like we buy 15, I have to buy another 1,000 pieces for sure.
Exactly. So that's the other thing is that I heard
It's just part of living on, I think, on High Street.
But I think that we can end this discussion here with
Yep.
what is the next steps? Do we want to see if we have people interested in being on a Halloween candy committee to work this out? And is that
I'll
okay,
check-
everybody? We could put some advertisements out?
go and see who can volunteer. It's like
Okay.
like a Saturday and a Monday.
Okay, so if you can send to Eric any information before our next meeting, so we can get this rolling and look for a committee for Halloween.
It
Eric's
doesn't.
we're gonna put out a thing Eric's gonna put out something asking for volunteers, and if you have volunteers who might want to do it, send their names to Eric. Okay?
Thank you.
Sarah, what if you teamed up with like Save the World Kids? Would that be helpful?
No.
With the Change the World Kids, possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah,
She's
let's reach out.
Change the world, kids.
So Change the World Kids.
There's
Sorry.
also, there's clubs, the Interact Club. There's some clubs at the high school.
The Interact Club.
Yeah, that have to do service.
Yeah, we need more of
All right.
those.
So we can work on those mini details
Yeah,
later.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Eliza?
You all.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Elisa Charlo. I live in the village and I'm the treasurer of the PTO. And I just wanted to make a few different comments on this. Sarit and I haven't talked about this. I'm just going to say my opinion on these different things. So first of all, I think you need to have, I personally, you can have a Halloween committee if you want to discuss Halloween things, but what you need is a town staff member who manages all of this to make sure that they're in charge of the police and all the details of Halloween. The only thing the PTO really can promise to do is we can definitely help you get volunteers. We could try to get them now. They'll probably cancel at the last minute. Usually volunteers come in as many as you could possibly need, but they're all going to come at the very last minute. But just saying that's probably how it will work. The PTO handled it last year and it went fine. I really think we could. We're doing a really good job at getting volunteers for different events. And I think we can help if you say, this is what I need volunteers for. I need, someone to drop off the candy, sort the candy and the dates and the times. and how many people you think you need. And we will put that out to the community, and we will, I can't promise, but I can almost promise that we can get you that to fill that. But someone at the town needs to do the rest of it, managing everything. Another comment I want to make is, so I've been coming to the first time I ever came to Halloween here was like 15 years ago, and I've been in and out since. And it's extremely crowded now. It's nothing like it was 15 years ago. I've lived in lots of little towns. I've never lived in any town that has managed Halloween. Halloween just happens in most towns. It just happens. The community makes it happen. The Woodstock, and I don't know how all this began, but Woodstock is so organized that it's not happening naturally. So the majority of the town is closed, and all of the energy is on these couple of streets. In my opinion, that's where everything's going wrong, because these houses are just getting way too much activity. They can't handle it. They don't have enough candy, blah, blah, blah. If everyone was able to, if the whole town just said, yeah, let's trick or treat anywhere, then there would be people spread out. Not everyone would be just in that section. Everyone would be able to get more of a normal amount of candy, and they wouldn't need so much to be supplied. We don't need to have streets closed off for Halloween. If you go to any town across the country, the streets aren't closed. People just have to learn how to be safe, and cars need to be safe, and everyone needs to be safer. So I just wanted to say, if there is a Halloween committee, I think a broader discussion about how to take the weight off these streets and try to spread Halloween out might help this. This seems to be just getting worse every year, and it will continue to get worse to the point where it's not even like a normal Halloween anymore. It's just like people standing on the street handing out candy, so just wanted to throw out like a spooky Halloween where you actually have to knock on a door might be a good idea, and maybe spreading the burden out around the town instead of just these poor people that live on those couple streets and have to deal with so much on Halloween. And anyways, thank you. And I hope that we can help you, and I hope the town can find someone to manage the details of all of it. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to put out a request for people to join or interested in talking about the Halloween. And I think that's where we're tabled right now. We know that they order $3,000 of candy, but that doesn't usually happen until September. October, yeah. So right now, I think that's the best that we can do.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but we've created a history and a precedent by doing it this way. I think the people that live, myself included, in that area enjoy it the way it is.
It's nice to hear that.
So I wouldn't.
Because
I think that's
Some
true.
people enjoy it. You don't want to hear my opinion
it
of
goes
it.
back a long way.
It's the container lights.
Where it's been.
But there are people who don't like it, and we have to remember that as well.
Right.
So,
Just putting that out there.
yeah, Scrooge. I know Halloween Scrooge
Well,
right here.
I also look at the safety issue of cars
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah, and I do think that people totally enjoy it.
So we're going to move on. No one's here for Wassel update or fiscal 26 Pride.
Everybody's gone to bed.
Everyone's gone to bed. Jeffrey, I mean, we still have an executive session. So do you want to talk about the Mechanic Street?
No, I've talked with Eric, and there's
Okay.
some discussions that need to occur before we
Right.
have that
Okay.
here.
And the police detail event discussion, I think we can hold off on that
Sure.
till the next session. All right. Got to get my verbiage.
Do we have a second to use the restroom before we go into?
Sure.
You go into executive session and use the restroom.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I move to find that premature public knowledge in the discussion of the police contract, including any potentially waiving, and disclosing confidential information.
Time to go home.
Discuss confidential information. Is there a vote on the motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Under one VSA 313A1E and F, I move to enter into executive session to discuss the police contract with the municipal manager to join. Is there a second, or is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Do you eat hot dogs?
No, I don't.
That's right.
I don't eat mammals.
All right.
A lobster, that's on the brain.
I eat lobster. I love lobster.
Full of cereal, Corral sounds.
Is it on?
Move
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion to come out of executive session.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next thing is approval of minutes, Mr. Khan.
Oh, well, let me get to the minutes. It's got some small ones.
Uh-oh.
If I could find the minutes. Okay, first is the July 14th. Whoops, no, that's today. Let me find, I'm sorry. Let me find it. Okay, June 9th. Minutes, the only thing I have on that, someone else might have something else, is under G, where it says Barbara of Otranto. I don't think Otranto is a city, so I think O needs to come out. Barbara of Otranto. Okay, so that's.
Kitty listens to you, so yeah.
Okay, that's the only one I found on that one, unless somebody else has one for that.
Nope.
Okay, and then on the next one, on, it's kind of more important, on the adjournment on the back, where it says vote 500 passed, it should be 4. There were only 4 trustees present and only 4 trustees voted.
Okay.
And then following that, the motion, also the adjournment, it says 5 passed and it should say 4. That's it.
Good job, Jeffrey.
All right. Does anyone want to make a motion to end the trustee
I make a
meeting?
motion
Well, first
that,
we have to approve those minutes
Oh,
with,
does anyone want to
with
make a
the,
motion to approve the minutes
I-
with the corrections?
I made
I-
that motion with the
Yep.
corrections.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5-0, Kitty. Is
Motion to adjourn.
there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are
At
adjourned.
at 9:34.
9:30.